Morning, gang. ICP today, $5.27. I told you I'd keep updated on this. And in the last video, we were down here. We were at a support. We were at a diagonal support. We expected a buy up at this support. And that's what we were talking about. Not only that, we had Jerome Powell speaking at the Jackson Hole event while the market was pulling back. And when you pull back into a news event, you've got a high probability of getting some kind of reversal. And that's not just what happened on ICP. That's what happened on the rest of the crypto market. We started getting confidence. So we've had a rejection again at the 200 daily moving average. And look at this. We're close to getting a golden cross on ICP. That is the retail indicator. But before that happens, we need to get back above the 200 daily moving average. So that's going to be the key in the short term. And you see, we're having a 3-bar reversal as we speak. A big green candle to the upside, an indecision candle, a rejection at the 200. And now we're currently got a lower low, lower close candle. So is this a time to panic? Because there's one key level that we're holding right now that I wanted to show you before we get the golden cross that's indicating that we're going to get a push in the market tomorrow, not just for ICP, but for the rest of the altcoins. And the reason why I'm bringing you ICP today is because it is at a critical level. And this critical level is going to give us a decision as to whether we're going to run going into tomorrow. At the moment, just looking at the candlesticks, without anything else on the chart, it looks bullish to me, but we need to hold a key level. And we talked about this key level in the previous video. We'd said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 days of bearishness where the bears have pushed price action down and they've tried to push it as hard as they possibly can. Where did they push it to? The support base that we talked about in the previous video. What happened? That was met by big, bullish, engulfing candle, which took out all those days of price action. And now we've got another rejection at the 200 daily moving average. So that is the barrier that we need to overcome in the short term. This golden cross cannot play out until we get above the 200 daily moving average. Once we get above the 200 daily moving average, that acts as support. Within a couple of days, you're going to get a golden cross and then a big surge to try and take you out of this range. So the first things first, what did we talk about? RS flips. So that's what we're looking for here. You can see this was a resistance point. That was a resistance point. Now, this was resistance here. We would expect this to flip support now. This is probably about a 50% move from the previous candle. We can measure that. Let me just zoom in. And this, you often get a 50% candle from the previous candle. So let me just stick in the 50% level on the Fibonacci and see exactly where we are. 50%. So look, exactly 50%. This often happens time and time again. When you get a big bullish engulfing candle and you get a 3-bar reversal, you come back down and you test the previous big bullish engulfing candle by 50%. That's where we're holding now. So this key support on ICP is currently at $5.26. Now, that's the 50%. That's the previous resistance. That's flipped support. Now, what we're going to talk about is volume and this accumulative range that's been for such a long period of time. This is the boring phase I was talking about in the Discord group. This is designed to wreck people. It's a long period of time. This is, that range is 173 days. When you're in a range for 173 days, you're getting nothing else but bored, bored, bored. You're getting fed up of it. It makes you want to sell it. It makes you want to look into something else that has pumped. So we've been in this range. The next thing I'm going to do is bring up a fixed range volume profile between the whole of this range. Then we're going to find out the biggest area of traded volume. When we're above, we're bullish. When we're below, the bearish. You can see here, this is the biggest area of traded volume, and this is the area that we need to come back, and this is the area that we need to reclaim in the short term, which is $5.40. So this is the range, $5.40 all the way down to $5.27. I'm expecting this to hold as support. If we come back down and we drop this level, we're coming back down to test the trend line. As long as we hold the trend line, that's sat between $5 and $5.06. Expect a continuation in the coming days on ICP. If we do hold this level today, we've got 15 hours and 55 left. If we do hold this level today, expect a push going into tomorrow. We can just check the indicators. We're still just coming from an oversold position. We've still got enough momentum to be able to push up past this 200. Once you've passed the 200, guys, we're going to reanalyze. We're going to revisit this because then we'll be looking for bigger swings, try and get out of this range initially. And once we're out of this range, we're looking for accelerations. This is the acceleration gap all the way up here, just under $10, $9.25. So we are likely to make big swings. Once we get out the acceleration gap, we've got the 200 in the short term. We've got this to fall back on, this 50% range, the RS flip. We've got the volume, biggest area of traded volume. That actually coincides with the 50 period moving average. So if we get through there, that is really showing strength for ICP. Right, okay, like I say, it's going to be a quick video update. I'm going to be updating you more often than ICP. Am I going to give you all-time highs, guys? I'm going to be trading this, and I'm going to be looking at this, how I would be trading it at the time what's in front of me during any period that I'm going to be doing videos, because ultimately I can give you all-time high predictions. I could say this thing's going to go to $55. I can say this thing's going to go to $87. I can say it's going to go all the way back to all-time highs at $497. Is it? 99.9% sure that this is not going to go to all-time highs at $500, guys. Don't bank on it. Trade if you are trading, and none of this is financial advice. What is in front of you during the time that the markets are actually given? When you're bullish, take chips off the table, and distribute out of the market the same as you accumulated into the market. Because I love ICP. I love all of the cryptos that I cover. Am I going to marry them? Am I going to hold them in the bear market? 100% not, guys. I am not preparing to hold anything for the next 2 years, for the next 3 years. I'm expecting to diversify out of high risk speculative assets like altcoins, then going into more stable assets, things like natural gas, things that done well in a bear market can go into a bull market. Basically, you can ride a bull market during a bear market. Crypto goes through a bear market. Where do you think the flow of liquidity goes? It goes into other assets. It goes into bonds. It goes into commodities. It goes into things that are scarce during the course of whatever the macroeconomics tell us during the time. During the pandemic and during the war, we had two things. We had shortage of wheat. Why was that? Because that was the breadbasket of Europe. Because there wasn't enough wheat, then the supply went up, or the demand went up, and then the supply went down. What does that create? Creates an inconsistency. That pushes the price of wheat up. So when you're looking at macro events, you're looking at macroeconomics, things that are doing good in a bull market will do bad in a bear market, and things that do bad in a bear market will do good in a bull market. It's just the flow of capital, guys, going from one asset to another asset in accordance with risk. If you're in a bear market, what's the point of holding something that's going to go down, 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 when you can be holding something that's got a higher probability of going up, up, up? It's not going to go up as much as crypto. It doesn't need to go up as much as crypto, but it's going up when something else is going down. And that's the aim of the game, guys. So what I'm saying is, I love ICP. I love all of these altcoins that I cover. Am I going to be holding them in a bear market? Hopefully not. Right, I'm going to be covering so many cryptos for you today. What have I got? ICP, Theta, Cadena, Pepe, Agape, and Fetch. See if I can get through all of those today. So I'm going to be a busy boy, but I'm here for you. Let me know in the comments exactly what you think. Jump in the Discord group and ask me any question that you want, and I'll see you in the next one.